It's happening.
Oh my God, that was so
Hello.
funny. I was like,
I died.
how the hell did that chap just find his way into the screen? It was so
I
funny.
died. I actually died. I actually had a heart attack live on TikTok. So
It
I'm
was
so glad
really
that
good. It
we're
was
here.
sweet and funny. Hi,
Hello. This is
nice to meet you.
so lovely to meet you. You're kind of like my makeup Jesus. So that it
Oh,
feels a little bit like I'm
oh,
hallucinating.
oh, you're sweet. Thanks, that's nice. Well, I'll start by saying thanks for doing this with me as well. This is so cool, and I love to be able to get to sort of, you know, the questions and the DMs and things that I get that are verbal or text written are so difficult to actually like understand what it is that maybe someone's doing wrong, that they're struggling with or that they're frustrated with. And so this is like a perfect opportunity for me to be able to help answer someone's questions, or even people watching that are like, oh, now I can see it because it's happening in real time as opposed to just a verbal description. So thanks, this is fun.
No, this is so great. It's kind of like I was saying this to I don't know if you know Bronte. She also does she's Aussie. She does makeup and she's an author. And I was saying to her today, I feel like I've like
I feel like I know that name.
got into you'll have seen her. I feel like I'm in like my makeup hood era. Like this is the days of makeup hood that I missed when I was younger.
Which
And
is
it's
kind of nice in a way, because like the bad habits that you pick up as a teenager are hard to drop sometimes. But I will say, I think you're doing a really good job. Like from that original video that you posted, where I don't think that was a bad job, but I just think it was heavier than what you need. Like if you were sitting in my chair, the only things that I would do is conceal around the chin, around the nose, a little under the eye, something sheer here, and then spot conceal where I needed it. So like when I saw you doing like heavy foundation, you don't need it all.
that's so interesting. That's so interesting. Okay.
What do you? I have about 50 minutes because I have to go to a lunch at 11 and I need an hour to get. I have to go to a lunch in the city at 12 and I need an hour to get myself there.
We can do that.
What do you feel like you want to do? Do you want to do like a little walkthrough where we do our makeup together and we just chat, and you can be like, oh, I keep having issues with this thing, or I want this to look better. Like I want to answer all of your questions.
I honestly, I mean, I came very prepared with questions, but I am more comfortable with doing whatever you fancy doing. So
let's do that. Let's do just like makeup as we let's just chat as we play. So then what is your goal is that Anne Hathaway look for your day?
I thought it was, and I'm struggling with how heavy the eye makeup is.
The eye makeup is a darker look for sure.
It's heavy. I'm just lost with the fact that I'm pretty sure I know I'm a neutral olive, and that is an issue for me because every single eyeshadow palette that I've got is either too warm or looks like I've been punched in the eye. And so I'm struggling to find things, but I have come prepared with a few options. Number one, Patrick Tar.
Great.
Dimensions 3. Number 2, Makeup by Marriage. She's still in the case.
I mean, oh my God, is that neutrals or original?
Original.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
I do want to see your eyeshadow brushes when we get there, because there was a video that I was watching this morning of yours when I was doing a bit of research, and instead of going in straight to the eye with a brush this size, I want you to start smaller if you haven't already done that. So we're gonna work exclusively with as small brushes as we can.
Love that. Love that. Because that's what I started to do with my blush, and actually I found that I've got more control. But I've gone kind of the other way now, and I don't know how to pull it back with my blush.
Okay. Do you have skincare on? Oh, my white balance is going again. I'm going to scream. I just zoomed in, and I did this the other day. I did this the other day with Kiri. Oh my God. Right, left.
I mean, it's giving...
And now I'm giving ghost. I'm giving ghosty. Let me see if I can bring it down.
Hey.
I mean, now I'm too dark, but let's just... Fuck the fucking...
Does it work if you press... Oh, just tap. Can you tap like in the...
Yeah, I'm tapping. I'm literally tapping the screen and it's not neutralizing itself. Maybe I need to leave the screen and come back. Hold on.
The white balance really said, hey, we're going to cast...
White balance was like, fuck you guys. I'm not having an easy day today. Oh, that seemed to help.
Yes, perfect. Yeah, skin prep. So I've got...
Have you done it already?
Yeah, done it. I'm prepped.
Right. So then, do you go straight with concealer or do you go straight with bronzers and cream contours and things?
I
Or
go...
foundation? What's your first step?
Eyes. I do eyes first.
And do you do concealer or do you just do eyes?
I do eyes,
primer?
color corrector. No, but do you know what? I picked this up the other day because I had it in my head that I couldn't use like glowy products on the wedding day. I don't know why. I don't know.
If you use glowy products, you just need to make sure you have powders too, though.
Have that.
Great. So then, is this a primer?
This is a primer. This is a NARS Light Reflecting Hydrating Primer. It's nice. It's
So
nice.
then I'm going to find something that would do a similar thing for me, which will be, I don't know, I'm just going to use the Dew Oracle Eye Cream, and I'm actually going to use it as a primer. So I'm going to put it on the back of my hand, and I want you to try and follow these steps if you can. Any kind of brush that you've got that's big enough of a diameter for the eyes, that it's okay if it gets wet. Sure. I'm going to use this, and I want you to smush it into the brush really well.
Smushing. I'm smushing.
And I don't know the texture of that, so I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm just going to put my eye cream all over the lid. I want you to go all the way up to the brow and then out towards the hairline. And then you may as well just go under here as well.
Texture of this is kind of like a serum. It feels
okay, great. Same.
Lovely, you know?
Great, mine's the same. So then you just hydrate in with that. Keep it thin. Make sure to spread it like well, so it's like not still tacky and wet on the eye.
Yep.
And then you would use an cream eyeshadow base, or you go straight in with powder eyeshadows at this point?
I usually do concealer.
Oh, yeah. Okay, great.
Concealer, and then I put some Charlotte Tilbury pressed powder over the top to kind of set it.
Okay, on the lids. And underneath, or both?
Underneath, I do a combination of the NARS Creamy Concealer.
That's a really good eyeshadow base for makeup. Should we do that on the lids?
Yeah, let's do it. I've got this one as well, which is the light reflective.
For underneath.
For underneneath.
Or do you use that on top sometimes?
Use underneath, but I feel like the consistency is good for using it on top as well.
Okay. So I would use a brush like this, like a little fluffy ponytail. If you've got one that's ready to go, maybe use the pink one, the Real Techniques, because it's pinched. And I think a pinched brush is always nice. And so I'm just literally just going to go right to the lid in the center, just here. And then I'm going to work my way up toward the brow so that I've not got like a bright white eyebrow. And then I'm just going to sort of tap and blend out and in.
What is a pointed brush?
Pointed? Like, I mean, like, did I say pointed?
Yeah.
No,
sorry, pinched.
Tapered. So this is pinched. So see the way the ferrule is pinched? It just means that you've got the flat side as opposed to a completely rounded dome.
Got you.
So they're just easier to sort of, press with. So before you pick up more product from the other side, I want you to just take that brush and apply it to the other side and see if you can still get some product off, because I think you will be able to.
Yeah, I can, yeah.
So I personally think the amount that you're doing on that eye right now is plenty. I think the amount that you did on the first eye is a bit too much.
Okay. Good.
So
good to know.
all I would do is just use that brush continually on the other side, trying to get some of the product out onto the lid. And then I would go back in and I would just thin that out up there into the brow. That said, if you like that look, then do it. But I just don't know whether, I think you're looking for contrast, but I think the contrast I just think that side, your eye closest to the donut behind the donut art on the wall is better.
Katie, it's a party ring, not a donut.
Oh my God, it's a party ring!
It's a party ring.
I haven't had one of those. See, I've lived outside of England for so long.
No, it's like
that.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you ever feel like product is too much and you're like trying to share something down, just literally use your pinky and just like pull some away a little bit.
Yeah, because I can see like tonally, this has a lot on it because it looks a lot more yellow.
Black. Yeah.
It is a peachy.
Yeah. Also, what you're doing by doing that side, you've taken away a lot of the natural dimension of the lid. And so therefore you're building it back in, which is great. It's very like Christopher Buckle, who does, Mariah Carey, and like he can build a brand new face like that. I think is very much that kind of technique. But I think sometimes it's like, you don't need to do all of that. So I'm going to stop at about here for my lid makeup, just based on what I'm doing after this. But obviously if you want to go more for wedding reasons, then you can and you should. And then what would be your next step? Powder on top of this?
Yeah, powder, Charlotte Tilbury.
Great.
I don't puff with it. I just use a fluffy brush, and I just go in and then I tap it off smush it around onto the back of my hand.
Yeah.
You taught me that. A smush.
Smush the brush.
I just smush the brush.
So are you using tape every time you do your eye makeup?
No.
Okay, great. It's not an okay great because it's bad, I just say.
Tried it a couple of times, didn't like it. I kept getting the tape wrong. It kept sticking to my bottom lashes.
Oh no.
It was just painful. I didn't really enjoy it. So no, I'm not. I'm just kind of going off of vibes. And
closer to the screen so I can see what your lids look like right now? Great. Perfect. Great. So then this is actually going to be a good test. I like the fact that we've got a slightly heavier base on one side because then you can see what the difference is going to be.
Yeah.
And then whenever you're ready, are you going straight in with shadows or are you going in with creams or pencils first?
Straight in with shadows.
Okay, great.
If
you want to crack open your Mario one? Because I've got the same.
Yeah, I do. What a way to christen it.
I mean, it's a great palette. I'm just grabbing mine.
I swatched when I was in Sephora in Birmingham. I swatched it, the neutrals one, and it just looked grey again on me. And so I thought, well, I'll pick up the normal one, the original one, and see if I can kind of make it work. I mean, it's still so pretty.
These are my recommendation to makeup artists that are like, I need to build my kit and I want a good eyeshadow palette. These are the best. I carry both of them, the neutrals and this one.
Okay, amazing. I might pick up the neutrals as well.
You know what? The neutrals I love because it's got this like magnificent grey in it that's just quite hard to come by, but
yeah,
it's just such a gorgeous grey.
What kind of like put me off, I was like, if this is what the grey looks like, the rest of them are gonna look grey on me. And so I was just like, nah, I'll just do the originals.
So what kind of eye are we going for today?
I would like to do something that is a higher contrast, kind of similar in tones to what Anne wore at the fashion show.
Okay.
With less of that heaviness, something kind of maybe on the lines of smoky, but also I was going to ask you, what would you recommend for me as someone who is higher contrast that tends to have two different shaped eyes a little bit and can't figure out what the hell to do with her face?
I would say that we should, I'm Googling this Anne Hathaway makeup recently.
I can share.
What was the show again?
The Ralph Lauren, but I can, I don't know if I can send it to you on TikTok, but I have multiple angles, I have multiple screenshots.
Everybody's like, she's had so much work done. I was like, the girl has her hair in the tightest friggin' ponytail. Maybe there's been tweakments, but also like I'm so like close to wanting to comment on so many things online, but I hate getting it. I don't want to I hate drama situations, so I'm like, I don't want anybody to think that I'm being dramatic, but she's got the snatchest of ponytails. That is going to lift your face up to the gods.
I tried it yesterday. My Lord, I genuinely felt like I was going to scalp myself.
A tight ponytail can give you a facelift for sure. Like the amount of celebrity clients of mine that just, I like love it when they have a snatch, like when they have a tight ponytail, because then the eyeliner is just so easy and smooth.
Is it? This is the other thing that I started to realize with like eyeshadow and eyeliner, because I've got hooded eyes, when I'm looking straight ahead and I'm putting stuff on, I'm not actually putting it in the right places. And I've found that if I actually lift my eyebrow up, I can get into my eye socket a bit more, and that really helps. But I don't. Do
you ever try both though? Do you ever try like getting it on with your eye straight ahead and then sort of doing this to just blend it so that you can see where it's going to be?
I do, but I feel like I just start. I mean,
it'll do the way you do it then. So okay, a few things about this makeup. Yeah. I think the lip's perfect. I think we should aim for this overall complexion vibe, tone, texture, color, everything's perfect. I think it would be great on you. Same with the lip. I think the eye is also gorgeous. I think the lashes are what's heavy about this look.
Yeah, okay.
I don't even think the makeup is that heavy itself.
Interesting, yeah. She does have a very, very heavy lash.
It's a big lash. And that big lash is creating more heaviness on the makeup. I remember doing a friend's wedding years ago and she had these big lash extensions on her face and the sun was overhead and it was creating these big dark circles in her eyes and we couldn't avoid it. Couldn't get rid of it because it was the sun and the eyelashes were attached to her face. They weren't like, I didn't put them on. All right. So then let's just play. Let's go for, do you want warm or do you want, what are you vibing?
I every time I do warm, I think it's a bit too warm. So I prefer something more slightly neutral, leaning cool, but I also know that I can't seem to get there. So I'll go with your lead.
So I'm going to go a little nuts and I'm going to say we're going to only use this eyeshadow and I'm going to show you many, many techniques and how you can use one eyeshadow to create multiple dimension.
Okay.
So you're going to want a brush that's a bit like anything that looks a bit like any of these. So like little ponytail, like smudgy, anything smudgy and small.
Okay. Smudgy
Or
and
anything
small.
smaller would even. What's the smallest brush that you've got from a head? Like anything quite pointy or like something
I would
super silly small?
say probably either these. That's probably the.
What about that one there? There's something I can see in that part. That. Yes, let's use that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I'm going to use a version of that I have that's not the same, but that's okay because it doesn't have to be. So you're going to take a little bit of that brown eyeshadow that's right before the black and just get it into the brush and then just smudge it on the back of your hand. But like, don't smudge it too much on the back of your hand because you'll take most of it off. Just do like a little. I'm using a similar brush that's longer, but the head is the same. So I'm only going to use the tip of this.
Okay, cool.
So I'm just taking a little of this, taking a little of the excess off.
Oh, I think.
Okay.
Extra of the excess, and I could just put.
That's all right. Just make sure that like when you touch the lid, it's not going to go woof.
Well, okay.
So what we're going to do, we're going to just like go right into the lash line with that dense brush, just a little bit of it, like that. Wow, that really impacted high. So then, now what you're going to do, you're going to take one of those again, one of these.
Yep.
Any of them, and you're going to just take that brush and you're just going to blend that edge so that it's soft. Press really, really softly, softer. There you go. There you go, yeah. And then bring a little bit of that edge up into here. And then take a look, just like step back, take a look.
I mean, it looks a lot better than how I usually do it.
So then what we're going to do now is, let me think about this because my brush is impacting much softer on my face. So
she's pretty flat and dense. I do have one that is
really squished.
She's pretty squished. This one is kind of same shape, but
okay. So then now take some of that same color, with that same brush, and pick up some again, and just make sure that it's not loaded. You shouldn't have don't when you're picking up the product. I'm literally doing this, by the way, not this.
Yeah, no, I don't rub. I just
great. So then with that same brush, just go into that same place because that bigger diameter is going to go a bit wider. Yep. And then take your smudgy brush back, the one that you blended it with.
Yep.
And just go back in and give it a little soften. Yeah. And then just start bringing it up and around here. Great. Now let's do the same on the other side. Oh. And just start with the brush that
is already loaded.
Yeah. So then you'll go right at the lash line, bringing it in. Using the other brush to blend that out and create softness. Because what we're doing is creating dimension in the eye with just, okay.
Do you know what was a massive shock to me was, I think I saw a post that Lisa Eldridge did, and she said to take a clean brush to do the blending. I don't know who put it into my head, and I mean 10-15 years ago put it into my head in the days of YouTube, where you have to take a transition shade and only blend with that. And when Lisa was like, no, just take a clean fluffy brush, I was like, excuse me,
literally, because the friction of the bristles will blend. So then when you're done with that side, I want to take a look. Open. That's a beautiful side. I love this side more. I want you to be aiming for this side at this point, but we're going to get to that point of the other eye. Okay. So now I want you to do one more pass of that, same thing, just to make it darker, but you're going to go a little bigger. So you're going to go again with that small brush, go in at the root of the lash again. You're not going to go higher because every time you apply it, it's just going to get bigger because that's how it happens.
Yeah.
And then hold the brush a little further down. You'll get a lighter touch on the eye. Yeah. So then blend that in. Okay. So do the same on the other side. And then what we're going to do, we're going to take that teeny tiny little dense brush again.
Yeah.
Which I've got a really teeny tiny version of that, which is this from Victoria Beckham that's just come out. And I'm going to pick up some more of that brown shade, and I'm going to go right in at the root of the lash with that dark shade. What's going to happen is that dark shade is going to basically be going from, you're applying it with a big brush, so you're applying it sheerly with a big brush, effectively. Like the first brush that you did was bigger than this one, right? So even though we started small, we've changed our flow. Now going in with this small brush, it's going to make that same exact color appear darker at the root of the lash, and therefore give the illusion that it's multiple shades. Because every brush type that you use, every brush, when the brush density gets heavier, the pigment gets heavier. When the brush density is fluffier, the color is lighter.
Okay, but yeah, that makes a heck of a lot of sense.
And so that's like a good little hack. It's a good thing to know when working with shadows, because I would say like practicing this with like a black and a brown, and then, you know.
Yeah. And then going wild. I'm
just figuring out the formula.
Yeah, the green is a goddess shade for me. I'm finding I'm loving it, but it's not very bridal, and that is
Okay, let's see where we are. Which side do you prefer? Like, you don't have to say my side. Like,
I prefer this side, but I prefer this side a heck of a lot more. This feels like it's, I don't know if you can see, it just feels a little patchy. The edges are just not really.
I mean, it's not a bad side. I would just lift it up with Q-tip and concealer later on.
Okay.
But you don't need to do it right now. So then what else would you typically be doing to your eye to make it more? Because, like, you know, what I always do with clients when I'm with someone, or if I'm with a celebrity client, I'm like, you know, if I'm showing them the look halfway through, I'm like, be aware we don't have mascara in the mix yet. Yeah. Because like mascara is always going to take a look 20% heavier than what it is right now.
Yeah.
So I'd say, what other areas do you do? Do you go in here with anything shadowy? Do you go like up here?
I go all the way, baby.
Okay. So then take your biggest, not biggest, but like take medium-sized fluffy brush for your eye. And I want you to have your setting powder geared and ready to go. Actually, you don't need your setting powder because we have this palette.
Okay.
So I want you to do a cocktail of this brown shade.
Yep.
Oopsies. And for you, based on your lid color right now, the one right above it.
Okay.
And just do like a little mix. I sort of dance between both like that. Then I give it a little tap to blend on the back of my hand. And so we have this custom color that we just made that's like lighter than the others.
Hang on, let me go in with a bit more because I think.
And go more with the beige because you can always make it darker.
Okay.
So we created our own transition color.
Look at us go.
But then where would you go placement wise? Would you go up into the fold? You'd do the lifted?
No, so what I usually do is I stay here and then I kind of try and then sweep it over. But then I end up going all the way up into my eyebrow.
I was about to say your brow comes really low. I would go further in. I'd say your brows are so beautifully arched. I'd start in a little bit more under the arch versus at the tail of your brow. Yes.
Whoa, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So go here, like there.
Like here?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then work your way in. Just do like little circles and then work your way in a little bit and then a little bit out and then a little bit in. A little bit out, a little bit in.
Holy shit. Okay, it's working.
So it's a little bit less like out. It's a little bit less big. At the end of the day, you can always take something further out. It's easier to take something further out than it is to bring it back in.
Yeah. This is looking great. We're looking great. She's looking
great.
And
then like with the lid, if you're trying to work with folded lids, you can work down like that. So just like pressing the brush in and then blending left and right ever so slightly. Your movements should not be this. Yep. This is bad. Your movements should be like little tweaky movements.
And it's so funny because we're always taught like windshield wiper. So I'm there just like windshield wiper.
Yeah, I know, it's really wild. But then again, if something works for someone, I'm never going to be like, hey, like I'm not god of makeup. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm using the patch of my hand to match the shade. So this was my first eye. This is my second eye. I'm doing yep, perfect. So then go to the second eye and do the same thing. And again, press really lightly. And then just like gradually get there. You don't want to see color immediately. You always want to see color after a couple of moments.
Oh, hang on.
Don't worry, it's all right. Press lighter. And if ever it feels like it's getting patchy, just take a bit of your setting powder on that brush and blend it into the mix.
Oh.
Because that setting powder is going to cut a little bit of what's on there. Yeah, use that one, sure. Prime it into the brush and then just, it gives you a little bit of a reset.
Oh shit, it really does.
All right, you can swim, babes.
That's so cool.
Where do you live? Which city?
Gloucestershire.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, out in the country.
When's your wedding?
I'm in London a lot, so.
And when's the big day?
First week of June.
Cute, soon.
It's getting real.
You can even take this shade by itself and start bringing this into the mix here to be a transition shade, for lack of a better word. You've infiltrated my brain with that color, with that name.
Sorry.
I love it. Okay. Does this feel like it's getting somewhere?
Yeah, 100%. It feels nice. But like, do you think this looks grey on me? Because I feel as though it looks grey.
Slightly, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, are you, because like you're bringing, like, don't fixate so much on one area and it feeling cool toned, it feeling warm toned. Fixate on the overall end and be like, okay, well, my lip now doesn't suit this eye, so the lip needs to tweak. My cheek now doesn't suit this lip, so something needs to tweak. Like, tweak, don't fixate, move on, and then come back to it.
Okay, cool.
Are you planning on doing anything shimmery or pearly on the lid?
You know what? Every time I try, it looks so. Okay. If you said to me, do something shimmery, it'll be nice. I have a few options.
Well, let's. Are you putting eye makeup under here?
Yes.
What are you putting under there?
I'll do whatever I put on top underneath.
Okay, so take the and that. Show me the brushes that you just used again. So then, if you're saying that you feel like grey, then I think you're going to want to go warmer. Take that end red brush, not the dense one, the other one. Yep. And I want you to actually take what's in that brush? Just a little bit of a. Do you have a towel on your table?
Yes.
Great. Give it a buff. So then I think we're going to go for. I'm going to go for this, just on the tip above the black.
Yep.
And then feel free to tap off any excess just to see. And then I'm just going to hold the brush really perpendicular to the eye, and I'm just going to skim that right under my lash line, starting at the outer corner. Stop. Do the same on the other side.
This is absolutely like changing my brain chemistry, because I would never have thought to stop at that point.
You would have gone all the way in.
I would have gone all the way in.
Nothing wrong with going all the way in, but you could go all the way in later.
Yeah, I wouldn't have even stopped to go onto the other side. I'd have just kept going and hoped for the best.
Do you like that warmer tone on the eye versus what's on the top?
Yeah.
So then take this brush that you had your fluffy combo in, and we're going to just take a little bit of that right on the tip.
Is this one? Yeah.
God, my lighting and white balance is a mess. And then we're going to just go right over the top to just warm it up a little bit.
Still staying within that kind of under arch area.
Not changing the shape, yeah. But you see mine just got a bit warmer.
Oh yeah, it's
Nice.
coming, it's happening.
Nice.
Yeah, see now this is
Is everybody enjoying this live? Does anybody have any questions? Maybe we can take a moment at the end to answer some, but hopefully you're all learning something as well. All right, so then once you've applied the same amount to both sides, I want you to take this fluffy brush, and I want you to take your towel. Mine has damp, so I need to find a wet and thingy side. Buff it ferociously in the towel. And then I want you to take that brush again, now that it's clean, and use the clean brush technique to further blend and bring it up to the brow. Bring it out toward the side if you want to. Light pressure is important. Like, don't ferociously blend, because then you'll make shit patchy.
Okay.
But just like to blend everything and make everything look neater.
Yeah, see this eye, I've got this like patch here. So at that point,
what would you normally do here?
Well, normally I'd panic, and I would just then keep making everything darker so that.
Then, do you have a Q-tip?
Yes, I do.
Grab a Q-tip. Don't lick it. Don't wet it. Dry Q-tip. Just do a little buff right on that patch. See if that buffs it out. Is it helping?
Yeah, it is. Oh my God, look at that.
There you go.
See, this is why I said you're my Jesus. Jesus.
All right, we're going to move on from eyes for a bit. Are you going to do color corrective stuff, or are you just going to go with straight up concealer?
I will do. I usually actually do the concealer for, I do too, but half of my problem is I end up bringing it down too far in my face. So I do both of the NARS ones. I love them. The texture is absolutely gorgeously stunning. You can probably tell because I've got through pretty much.
I love these. They're really nice. They're actually very good for a day, like a wedding too. All right, people keep asking me like, how do you prime a solid concealer? I'm like, well, you kind of don't. You kind of just can go straight in.
And shall I take the brush that I did with my lids for this one?
Yeah, sure. Just make sure it's not got loads of your... Oh, yeah, they use the same shade. Yep.
And you sweep, right?
Yep. And I want you to go not as high. Don't go right up to the shadow yet. I just want you to go like right at the orbital bone.
Okay.
And just do that, because there's something beautiful about leaving a few of those natural tones and colors around the eye to support the makeup.
Okay.
And then bring it down a little toward the cheek so that you don't have any kind of hard line. then you can use it for you on that side that you're on right now. You can use it just to push a little bit into that shadow. Technically, we should have done this with what I would usually do with someone is buff away excess with the Q-tip at the corner and then do the concealer, but you didn't have that much on. Okay. And then what's left on this brush, once you do the other side, what's left on this brush is the perfect amount usually for around the nose and the mouth to start just minimizing redness.
Okay. Yeah, because the rosacea is rosaceaing today.
I mean, it's great. Let's use it to our advantage, eh?
I actually really, I know this is going to sound really strange, but I really like the rosacea on my nose when I put makeup on. A lot of people are like, oh, it's too pink.
Why do people, I know, why do people feel the need?
I don't know. I like the sunburn kind of.
But at the same time, like everybody's got different comfort level of things and that's fine too. Okay, great. So then what's left in this brush, you can actually also take it just a little here under the brow just to further blend that shadow. Just don't go too low. Okay. So it's going to like further blend that top edge, bring it a little down into here. What's left in that brush is actually the perfect amount for the creases of the nose. And then like you can start shadowing them out, like priming that lip edge with that brush.
I've never used such little amount of makeup and it actually do something. This is actually wild.
So come a bit closer for a sec, straight on. So then I would take your brush, take some more of the concealer again. We're only gonna use concealer, we're not gonna use foundation. So we're gonna take more. And then I want you to just go like to the chin with what's on the brush. Shear it through, blend it out, move it around. Yeah. And then do like a little on the nose just to neutralize that redness a little bit because I feel like you'll want that for your day. Yeah. This is like a day off makeup. Just make sure that you're sort of really, you know, evening everything out. And then what's left on the brush again can go here where the rosacea is a little bit close to the nose. Yep, that exact part. Yep. Same here. And then you can start to do any little redness on the forehead if there's any areas. Just, you know, the concealer is NARS Complete Soft Matte. We're both using the same thing. I have Cafe au lait. What shade do you have?
I have the Canelli?
Oh yeah, Canal.
2.75, which is slightly peachy. So I mix it with the eye brightener, which is basically the exact same thing, but marketing is great. So
yeah. What is that eye brightener? The eye brightener is wetter in texture, right?
I don't think
more like moussey.
Well, it's more moussey, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely more moussey. It's kind of like a
I just want to see something. Take that brush into the eye brightener and I just want to know what's going to happen if you bring that eye brightener just here a little bit, kind of lower onto the cheek.
Okay, that was...
No, it's fine, don't panic. Take what's on that brush now, bring it to the other side. Yep, bring it over the cheek, over the redness. Come closer, I want to see what the color's doing. Okay, that's fine. Just like keep manipulating it. Do a little bit here above the brow. Don't waste it. And then bring it, and then come back to the beginning and keep blending. So that's what happens. That's what to do, everyone. If you ever overcommit to product, don't panic and try and wipe it off. Just move it around the face into different areas. And you know, you can... Is this quite a nice texture?
Yeah,
it's radiant.
It's really glowy.
It's really nice. I like that.
It's lovely.
I like that because just because it's called an under eye brightener doesn't mean it has to stay under your eyes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So with what's on this brush, skim it around the mouth, not on the lips, but just literally at the edge. And then for photos, I think important to go up almost into the nostrils, just in case there's any red bits. And then you can tap when you want to build the coverage. Who's got a Scottish accent? I didn't just do a Scottish accent. All right. So then, do you use bronzer or blush?
Yes.
Bronzer or powder bronzer or cream bronzer in your routine at the moment?
Liquid. Elf.
Oh yeah, I just bought that one. It's really good.
Katie, do
you know what it's like? It's exactly the same as the Saie Beauty one.
Is it?
Exactly the same.
No.
Probably the same lab. I would be.
Duper.
But then great. Now that you've done, what do you say?
It's so good. I love it.
Really good. Do you have a shade light, medium?
I've got fair light, and it's the most perfect cool tone.
Oh my god, great!
It's a contoury thing.
I love it.
It's so good.
All right, so this is fun. This is my favorite bit. So because you haven't just done a full, what would you normally do this before your foundation, or foundation before this?
I do
this come after foundation.
Yeah.
Great. So we're gonna just wipe all this off. So get all that brown shadow off your hand as best as you can. And if you need to work with a different part of your hand, then you can. Depends if you've got a wet wipe or not. I don't have a wet wipe, so I'm just gonna use the inside of my wrist to saturate. And then I want you to find a brush bit of a dense buffing brush. The one that you were going to use for your foundation would be ideal.
Oh, she's big. My foundation.
Not foundation. The brush that you were going to use for your eye cream. Is that what you use for your eye cream?
Yeah.
That's fine. So I'm just going to use this because that's all I've got.
To be fair, she is usually what I use for this anyway.
Great. So then just smush and prime. Get it in there. For you, I want you to go up here first.
Okay.
And just pat into that area. Yep. Then do the same on the other side. Nice. Primed it well because I can't see it. Great.
Okay.
Start bringing it across the head. Then you can start bringing it down and into here. So like you're creating like a C shape, obviously.
Yeah.
And then the same on the other side. Keep your pressure light so you don't budge any concealer off. Okay. So then, and then once it's on, and then do a little on the tip of the nose slightly, just to make it redundant to one area. Oh, that was too much.
Looks
and
nice.
then you could also put like a little under here if you want to, with what's left in the brush. And then, let me see. And then another thing that I like to do with this is I'm taking a bit more.
Yeah.
And I'm taking a smudgy little ponytail, like a smudgy little dense eyeshadow brush. And I'm going to, have you got anything? Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. Do that.
I've got more. I've got
Well, you just dirtied it. I don't want you to have to wash a new brush. It's fine. So then we're going to go like that into the mirror, chin out, go find that bottom lip, make a shadow. Yeah. Do you see what that just did?
Yeah. You literally, holy shit, yeah. Oh my God. Girl.
I did the same on the top.
I mean, the top is where I need it. I'm not going to lie. Do I look like I've given myself a moustache?
Well, we're going to fix it. So take your fingers. I've not gone out as far as you. You just had a bigger brush, but that's okay. Take your fingers and just press at the top outside the lip line and just remove excess. And it's also okay because we're going to define this with lip liner as well. This is just a pre-shadow moment. So this is just underpainting lip addition.
Okay, love that.
And you could also go back in and blend it more with that same brush if you want to. We are using the e.l.f. contour on the lips. Okay. Wow, we have a lot of people watching. This is so cool.
Oh, hello everyone.
Right.
I haven't, do you know what's really funny? I know there are people here. I'm so sorry. I forgot you were all here.
I know, it's really crazy, but I think that's probably why people are enjoying it because it's like that we're just doing.
It's like FaceTime, right?
It.
Like FaceTime makeup with your friends.
So then I'm just going to further blend my bronzer because mine's a bit more darker. And I think I should have bought your shade for myself because
it's honestly, it's stunning. Like if you, are you cool toned as well?
I don't really know. I think I'm neutral, but I also don't really care. You know what I mean? Like I don't get too caught up on it. I just get caught up on, do I feel good in that color? And does it match my neck?
Yeah. Yes.
Like,
yes. Yeah.
It's, I think there's too much fast fixation on people giving a shit about that. I think it matters for more melanated complexions. If you're a makeup artist, I think it's very important. Yeah. You need to know how to balance melanated skin where there's like darker areas for sure. For pale and fair medium complexions, it's important to know, of course, because you don't want somebody to have, you know, a yellow face and then there'd be pink and red on the neck. You need to match it. So I think matching it is all you need to think about.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. How do you feel?
I feel a bit red still.
Okay. Come closer to the screen. Okay, great. So then, oh right, yeah, okay. I see.
It's very glowy, but I feel like the eye brightener as the concealer, 10 out of 10.
So then we're going to do something a little crazy now.
Okay, I love crazy.
Okay, let me see how dewy that is. Oh no, it's a beautiful type of radiance.
Yeah.
How much coverage would you say it is? Is it like super sheer or would you say it's medium?
I would say it's sheer.
And what's your foundation that you've been using?
So I've been using the e.l.f. Soft Glam, but I
have that too. Oh my god,
so good! It's literally
so good.
I've bought the Estee Lauder Double Wear because that was recommended, as well as the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, which has fragrance, and I usually can't use fragrance, but I can use this one for some bizarre reason. The Lancome Tainty Doll Ultra Wear.
Which one's your favorite? I would say which one gives you the most porcelain skin look?
Oh, none of them. None of them. I always find it just, my skin just drinks it in, and it looks every single foundation, unless it's like a super luminous foundation, I'm not gonna get. I don't get a glow, which is why this is kind of shocking.
Is this? Do you like this?
Love it, so much.
Let's do this. So then I'm gonna. Oh, I love the way it comes out of the tube. Why is that so satisfying? It's like a little.
It's so good. Usually, what I do is I mix shade 13 with bronzing drops, but what I've started to realize is this oxidizes along my jawline. So I'm going to try, which is something I haven't done. I'm going to try mixing 13 and 23 together and see if
which one is lighter.
13.
Do more of 13. Don't do 50-50. Do like 70-30. I'm gonna, while Hannah's doing that, I'm gonna prime the e.l.f. foundation into this hourglass brush, and then I'm gonna sort of start doing what Hannah's about to do, but I'm gonna do it in advance and then show her. So for her, where her redness is primarily is all here, because we've done a lot of correction here. So now what Hannah's gonna start doing in a second when she's done is start applying coverage to the jawline like that first.
Okay.
And then you'll have kind of a nice bright jaw, hopefully.
I would love the shade. Okay, so that's where I'm at with my mix.
Okay, great.
Brush wise, this is what I usually use. This is the one.
Go for the smaller one.
Okay.
No control. So get it into the brush, and then I want you to start like at the top of the ear and work your way down, and be like tapping and stippling at the same time as you go.
Holy, okay.
All right, go to the other side. Bring it, yeah. Remember, like these are all creams. We haven't gone into powders on the skin yet, so we can go back in with that cream bronzer. We can, we can add and take. We can give and take with all of this stuff.
Okay.
So just let like super stipply motions go a little over the chin, around the mouth, border the lip. And then you can start to stipple a little over all of that work that we did, just slightly, because it's going to neutralize, it's going to tone down the bronzer. It's toning down my bronzer in a good way, but it might be covering yours up too much, but we can always go back in with yours. So it's not a big deal. And then just do the nose. Okay. And then just do a little in the middle of the forehead, up toward the hairline. And then just do like a little chicken foot shape. So long in the middle and then out to the sides. Never said that before.
Now it's going to be in my brain.
Make a chicken foot on your forehead.
My chicken foot foundation.
Pretty.
Do you know what? She for a satin foundation, she does give some really decent.
Really nice. I know. I need to be stocking up on some e.l.f. e.l.f. is great.
I don't know what it is, but recently, like they're hitting it out of the park.
Yeah, they really are doing a very good job. When you're done and you're comfortable, I want you to come closer to the screen so that we can see what's happening. Beautiful. So then here, I want you to go, you've missed a bit here kind of in the hairline. I want you to hit that redness right there in the hairline. Yeah. And I would only ever do this with how much you've got in the brush right now. Because if you did this with what's in the brush from the beginning, you would have foundation in your hair. So this is now the perfect amount to do that with, because there's no foundation really left in the brush. It's just like 2% that's in there.
Yeah, I mean, I can feel it. It feels dry. Like the brush actually feels dry.
And just very lightly with what's left in the brush, just skimming around that mouth a little bit more to neutralize that contour that we did. Okay. Ooh. Shit. Grab your lip liner that you've been using that you think you're going to use on the day.
Well, I have many options.
What's it going to be? I mean, are you enjoying Anne Hathaway's lip in this thing?
I do. I love her lip. That was like the one thing that really stood out to me. But the thing is, the lighting is so interesting, because when she was at the actual front row, it looked like a cool toned mauve. When she was doing her press photos, it looked like a warm peach.
Yeah, I see warm peach here.
So I don't really have much in the way of peach liners.
Okay, show me what you've got in there.
So I've got a fair amount. I've got a lot of Maybelline lifter liners, but they're all pretty much the same. What I do love is the Makeup Forever Wherever Walnut.
Right, I'll get mine of that.
And also MAC Whirl, but I feel like MAC Whirl does not stay on me.
Really? Even if you pout? Well, okay. I want to. I want to challenge you. I'm not challenging you. I want
You're
to
challenging.
educate you on how to make those matte pencils last a lot longer.
Okay. I'm here for it. I'm so ready.
I don't have Whirl, but I do have Cool Spice, so I will use that.
I've heard
which is not
very
really the
good
same.
things about Cool Spice.
What?
I've seen very good things about Cool Spice.
It's good. All right. So take any kind of brush with powder. Do this. Any. Do this. Okay. Great. Make sure to get like here too. Okay.
Yep.
Grab your pencil.
Yep.
Mine's quite dull, which I quite like, but if you want, you'll sharpen it.
Okay. No, we're good. I think we're probably at the same point.
I'm going to just start. You'll notice all of a sudden it's grippier because of the powder.
Quick question. I've got a double lip line.
Yeah.
Where do I
go into the double, in my opinion, always. So like always go into the volume, not the color.
Okay.
Yeah. Cute. That powder will grip it more and effectively dry it out. So then your top lip, I want you to start in the middle and go right under those lines that you've got on those filtrums or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And then do the same on the other side. Just do like little do little McDonald's M's here like this. Yeah. And then start to slowly bring it down. Like that. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I'm like, I want to challenge you to show you how to use that pencil to your advantage is simply because why should it just sit there and not getting used really that much?
Well, this is the thing. And I love it so much. Like the color is really, really nice.
Yeah. All right. So when you've got the majority on, take a brush like this that's about a similar diameter and head size to the pencil itself. Okay. I have a tiny bit of eyeshadow in mine, so I need to buff it out. Smaller and denser if you've got one.
Ooh, yes, I do. This guy.
Is it dense though?
She's
needs to be shorter. It needs to be like short bristles. That's great. So then take that and start to push this color outside the edges slightly, just to soften the lines.
Oh, I never do that. That looks really nice. It looks really airbrushed.
Yep. Same on the bottom. I want you to make that side fuller. Side it away. Yeah.
This side?
Yep. So use the brush and push outside. Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Whoa.
So now we're going to take the pencil again and go back in. But this time I'm actually going to sharpen my pencil because it's going to create a different density than what I got the first time I went in.
Yeah, we'll do
so I'm just giving it a little sharpen, but not too much. I just want a little bit more on it, not a point. Because the point is too defined, I think, sometimes. And then I'm going to start exactly where I left off. So here.
Yeah.
And then here again. It's the same as what we did with the eyes. We applied to the eyes, we blended the eyes, we applied more, we blended that. It's like everything, it's,
it's almost like you're priming
yeah, it's a priming layer, 100%.
Yeah.
Your concealer and everything that we did on the base is a priming layer for the next layer of everything. Everything primes for the next thing.
That's so fascinating.
And then just let's fill in with this color for the sake of it, because it's going to be longer lasting that way.
I've not filled in my lips in 10 weeks. It actually feels like coming home after being away for a long time.
But then we're going to buff again though.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready. So now I'm going to buff right at where we filled, just to shear it down so it doesn't look like flat.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And just so that you're just maneuvering and moving the product around.
Okay. And like, I suppose the nice thing is with MAC is that you can do this with the brush, like the Maybelline liners.
Yeah, you can't smudge them really.
You put in that one, but there's a lot in there.
Yeah. I mean, what you could do, I don't know, is Forever Walnut darker than that or lighter or just a different tone?
So eerily similar. I swatched them both and I was like, well, this is basically.
Let's take a little bit then of your.
Oh, actually, it's a bit warmer. So that's Forever Walnut.
So then I'm going to use a similar pencil tonal wise, but this is the Vive one, so it's similar to the Makeup Forever ones in the sense that it's waterproofish. And I'm going to do just a little here.
Yeah.
And then a little here. Because when a pencil has that opacity that these do, the color is already more intense because of the formula being the way that it is, so you'll get a little bit more of a contrast.
Okay.
But then before it's too late, just give it a little smudge and budge. Where's my little brush gone? Is it starting to feel like it's getting catchy or thick or claggy, or it
feels powdery, but not in like an overly it feels like a matte mousse lipstick, or like, you know those,
like a Dream Matte Mousse.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready, take a look straight ahead. So you still need, in my opinion, a little bit more volume on this side of the mouth.
Okay.
Side away from the party ring. And there, that moment. Right there? Totally, yes. And if you feel like you want to use a MAC pencil, do that as well.
Yeah, I can totally see what you mean.
A good way to see if the lip is even is look at your bottom lip from underneath and look at your top lip from above. That looks actually pretty good.
Yeah, she looks pretty even.
Great. So then what lipsticks have you got? Have you got like Holly Go Lightly from Lisa? Or something peachy? Because I think we're trying to go peachy.
Just drop that. Do you know what? I don't even think I have a single peach. The only thing that is even remotely slightly more peachy is probably... It's not even.
That's nice.
Afterglow from NARS.
That's great. I mean, I wouldn't say that's the longevity that you want, but we're going to powder the lip again before we put on any other lip color. Okay. So take the same brush that you powdered with and just pick up a little bit of your powder.
Do we remember which one it was? I'm assuming it was.
As long as it's not got brown eyeshadow in it, it doesn't matter.
I think we're good.
So, over the edges. Like that. And that's going to lock that in. Now do you have any cream blush that's peachy?
No, I have almost all of the e.l.f. Camo ones. And I do actually have, I have Peach Perfect, and I usually mix Peach Perfect with Bold Face Lilac, and it gives me a really beautiful dusty rose. I feel like I'm looking at it and I can't even see it well, but...
You have a red lipstick?
Yes, I do.
All right, take a red lipstick.
She's a Powermatte.
Right, love her. Take a drop on the back of your hand.
Okay.
Let me get one of my Powermattes. I'll get a version of. Like, and by drop, I mean like literally like that amount.
Okay, I've got her as well. I mean, I've got pretty much all of the e.l.f. brushes.
Again, this isn't what I would recommend on the day unless you do want to get real meticulous and cocktail things. This is just hack stuff. We're going to take a lip brush, something flat that allows for you to paint the lip. Like a flat kind of... Where's my version of this? Like this kind of thing. Great. So then take a bit of your NARS concealer. Or the brightener, whichever you want. Do the brightener because it's dewy.
Yeah.
And then you're going to mix it into that red patch of lipstick.
Holy shit.
And then you're going to see, okay, well, it's still quite concealer lip. So which one is yours? Wow, yours went really pink. Oh, because you had a red with a pink base, not an orange base. So do you have a red with an orange base?
I don't even think I do. I never buy anything that's...
Well, let's just keep going for the sake of education and everybody feeling like they learned something, and you too, because this doesn't matter. Now, let me see that color that you just mixed. I think do a tiny bit more of the red, just a dot next to it, not in it, and then pick up from the patch next to it. So like that.
Cool. Okay. You shaved me because I was about to.
Okay, so I got somewhere close to you. Okay, so then just pout a little and just start to build. I'd actually go mix both of those two colors together now. Mine's too white. I need more. But this is just a hack, everyone, of how to like quickly make a lipstick different with the help of a bit of concealer.
That's so fascinating. I never would have thought in a million years to mix.
And don't go to the lip edge, just go right there.
Oh, that's so pretty.
And then do the same on the top, like inside. Like that. Mine's very like powdery. Yours is actually nice. It's pretty.
It's a really, really pretty color.
Great. Cute. That is not defo going to crease on the lip. It's the lip. It's like it's how you apply it. Like it's, you know, we've applied it. It's pressed in. There's such a little amount on the lip. It is not defo going to crease on the lip. Sorry to fact check you, but it's not. So lean in. Let's all take a look. Pretty. Feels like a lipstick. Doesn't feel
really
matte or dry or cakey.
No.
If Hannah had used a lot of that and put it on and not blended it in, yes, it would crease on the lip, but it will not crease on the lip. So how do you feel about coverage-wise, foundation-wise? Do you feel coverage? Do you feel like you want more coverage?
I feel like I want a little bit more here.
So then let's smash a little bit more foundation into that brush with the soft Glam. Do you feel like you can build coverage with this?
Yeah. Oh my God. Heavy on the buildable. Heavy on the buildable. They weren't playing. I think this is probably, out of all of the foundations I've tried the high-end ones. It's my favorite. It is 100% my favorite. And it says medium buildable. She's
Yeah, she really is a nice
she's not playing
foundation.
around.
Yeah, this is a good one.
I've used it literally every day since March, beginning of March. End of Feb, maybe. I'm going to take my little mix, my 70-30. Like, when you're mixing, you don't mix with the brush, do you? You mix with the brush?
Yeah.
Oh. I should have been doing that the whole time.
The foundation for everybody asking is Soft Glam Satin Foundation by e.l.f. I'm using the shade Light Cool 20.
And I'm using 23 Light Cool and 13 Fair Neutral.
It's a really pretty finish. Okay, so smush and then just slightly tap. Great.
Good.
Yeah, beautiful.
Oh, okay, yeah, this is like, the lip is also, what do I do if I do this?
So take to the chin, because you could do a little bit more coverage on the chin.
Yeah.
And if that brush is detailed enough, you can also do a little in the mouth to pop that mouth a little bit more and have a little bit more contrast of the lip. There you go. Now that brush doesn't have much foundation left in it, you can do the nose.
Cool, okay.
Pretty. I would also take what's in that brush under here.
Yeah.
Because like foundation and concealer, they're different because it's marketing. Like it's like you can have a foundation that's sheer and glowy and you can have a concealer that's thick and full coverage, but you can also have the reverse of all of those things. So it's like people get a little fixated on which one goes first and all of that, and it's more about what coverage you want.
Yeah, because that's the thing, like concealers are just really thicker, more compacted, denser particle versions of foundation.
Unless it's not. Because sometimes what if it's stretch concealer from Glossier? That's a sheer concealer.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I do my little feet, my little
How are you feeling?
I feel.
Do you have a clean version of what you're just using now? Like something without anything in it?
I have a big version.
Great. Take that and hit it around the hairline. Yeah, just because there was a little line there. Take that and hit it just here, wherever. If there's any areas, just take a little pressure with the brush, tapping wise, and remove excess. This is like the best way to take off excess. Pretty. So I want you to do one thing. Puff your mouth like this. And just rub your finger right in that crease. There you go. Then you won't really get creasing there. So then, okay, let's do a bit. What kind of blush are you going to use? Powder or cream?
Liquid, I think. But I saw you and Kiri.
Oh, I love that stuff.
Live, and I bought this literally afterwards.
Are you feeling like you want more bronzer?
I'm not a massive like bronzer.
I think it looks really beautiful right now.
I really like it.
I'd say the only thing we can try, just so that what I would do if you was in my seat, I'd take a little bit of bronzer in that same brush that you used, which I don't even remember what mine was. It was this.
109 for me, I think. Where's she?
Do one more little hit of a prime into that brush. And then really, 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 really well, so that you can't see it really anymore. And then look straight into the mirror. And then I want you to just sort of go, for you, I just want you to sort of go like here. Bring it a little bit half onto the cheek, half into the hairline. Yeah, and then maybe a little above the brow there so that you have a little glow. There you go.
Ooh,
Do the same
love
on the
that.
side.
Okay, yeah, that's stunning. Love that.
Because then you know, the thing is when you have foundation over the whole surface of the face, you lose dimension in ways, and then blush obviously brings it back, but a little bit of bronzer. And I think also here is nice on you because you've got this really nice natural cheekbone there. Bringing it down a little into this is also quite nice, but not as far down into the jaw.
Okay.
Great.
Because I stopped contouring when I did that original video and said, like, what do I need to do? Because it would create this double shadow.
Yeah, you've already
So
got
I had this,
you've
like,
already got a line there because
yeah.
you've got good bones.
Thanks.
So let's move on to blush. Do you want to do your cream first?
Yeah, so I feel like with this lip, either my little peach and lavender concoction or my Suave Mo, actually that looks
Go for that. Yeah, 100%.
stunning.
100%. I'm going to use a similar version. I'll use Huda Beauty, even though it's real coveragey.
Have you tried these camo blushes?
Yeah, I feel like I found them quite sticky. They're similar consistency to this, right?
Yeah.
I think it's the same base almost. I think the bronzy version of these from Saie is similar to the blush version of Saie. And I like it, but I don't love it for blush for me. But I would do it for bronzer for me. But I'm like, I can feel it.
Interesting.
I've
got it. So, I'm realizing that I have a lot there.
That's all right. Smash it in.
Brush wise, so usually this is my tried, true, and tested. She's like a little kitten paw.
Cute.
But I also love a little bit of this moment. So which one would you recommend?
Where are you placing the blush?
Well, this is an issue. So before I used to pull it all the way down here. Now I know that was wrong. Now I've got an extreme case of blush blindness where I tend to go over my full cheek and then I use concealer to blend the blush for an
So then let's use that brush that's in your hand.
This one here?
Yep. And stipple it into the very top of the bristles. And then maybe go to a different part of your hand to keep stippling because there's a lot of product on.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. Now just do like a little cheek pop. Like do your photo face. Like when you take a photo with your, partner in your photos moment, do your photo face. Right.
I'm scared.
Photo face, and then hit the highest point that pops when you do a photo face.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, loads of people have been like calling me out for my smile, and I have a hypermobility disorder. And I have severe TMJ. And so one side of my face is a lot stronger muscle-wise than the other side.
Whoa.
So when I smile with my mouth shut, this one lifts up. And when I talk, you'll notice like this side.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful.
And
it's really cute.
Some people were like, "Oh, girl, why are you smirking?"
Oh, it's so cute. I like it.
I can't help it.
I like it. So for then, do you feel like you have to like do a slightly uneven blush application to make the match or no?
No, I never do. But what I do find is that in photos, I have to actually actively try and move this side a bit more, which can be quite annoying.
So I want to encourage you to go quite close to the eye, which you're already doing. So it's fine.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I never really understood the right blush placement for me because I love how you do yours because yours makes your cheeks look so like juicy and glowy and gorgeous, and every time I try and do it I end up like going a little bit too much, but this is what
I always do is I stay in the same place and I just go a little, there's like a very slight, and I do bring it up, but my majority area stays in the same spot, and the brush, every time the brush lifts and hits the face, it's going to hit at a different point. It's impossible to hit at the exact same point every time. So, you can't, it's just going to change its position. So I wouldn't even worry too much about doing any of this. Add more focus on an area and let the bristles splay and just move ever so slightly up and down. That way, then you'll get natural pop of color as opposed to a big diffusion.
Got you.
Okay. Cool.
Do you think I need more?
I do.
Okay.
I think go back to that patch on your hand and then don't do as big of a space this time. That's fine. I don't even think you need to, but this seems, oh yeah, I guess you did need to do that. Go right into the middle of the point of where you want the blush to be the most concentrated for you. Just do like little tiny circles like this. Same on the other side. And then you can come back to that other side to blend.
Okay. I think that's going to be the one thing that's like the most transformative for me is giving more to one side and then taking it over to the other side and not being so like have to dip in on this side and match the same amount on this side. And
it's like there's no way like it's exactly the same on both sides, like, and that's all right. Like it's normal. Makeup should look real. It shouldn't look like a mask, in my opinion.
Yeah, agree.
All right, so then blend that side again.
Just
Just
like
there in here with the brush. Yeah, great. And then let's see straight on.
oh yeah, this is no, yeah, that's a bit of me.
Come closer. You just need a little bit more on that side of your face here. Yeah, and maybe you need a touch more from the back of your hand because it's almost more foundation-y right here than it is blushy.
Yeah.
Please don't ask ChatGPT to give you combos based on your complexion. Listen to the professionals or listen to the creators that are taking the time to do these things. I don't have an issue with it, but I sort of do. There's this whole thing that recently happened with H&M, and they were like using models and using dupes of AI versions of models to be able to shoot more content. And like I find that so troubling because I'm just like, well, that's literally like vetoing a photographer's job. It's vetoing makeup artists, production people, hairdressers, crew. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, that's really sad. That was really, really sad.
Yeah, we should be a little less reliant on the chat GPT.
And this is the thing, right? So my day job, I'm a copywriter. So I've
so it's very important to your job and your world.
Yeah, I've worked in marketing for 10 years. My fiance, he's a freelance photographer, and like it feels really
weird.
Yeah.
But then I do think with copy, I think with copy, I haven't also been into an H&M ever since I watched this documentary called True Cost, which is about fast fashion and the implications that it has on human beings in Bangladesh and Cambodia. It's the most sobering documentary you'll ever watch, if that's the right word of that. I've got no interest in ever going to H&M ever again after that. But
it's been so I stopped going there 4 years ago after a couple of friends of ours, they opened up a sustainable it's not really fashion, they have like curated pieces, homewares, etc. It's called Mimo Studios if
cool.
you ever want to look at online. And they did a radio show on BBC talking about H&M, and that was about 4 years ago, and I've not done it. I've not gone in since.
It's wild. All right, we're gonna take powder. You're setting powder.
Question now, are we doing under eye?
You want more concealer under your under eyes?
No, I actually really don't mind it. I think it looks really pretty.
It does.
Just, can I set with a pressed? Because I find that this is just so drying on my under eye, and I look.
Then let's do that. 100%. Mine's in my handbag, so I'm just going to use the Tower 28 version.
No, that's fine.
Grab any kind of small brush. Yeah, great. I'm just going to first go here, just down the side of the nose, just to sort of check what it's going to do like, and then I'm going to start tweaking it toward the eye.
Oh god, that looks so much better than it usually does. And I think that's the thing. Like, I know this has almond oil in it. I think the first ingredient of this is mica, and so as soon as
mica is the first ingredient.
You think so? I'm almost.
Not talc. Mica would be crazy. That would mean it's like full of shimmer.
Is it talc? Or who's recently switched over to mica?
Well, mica is pearl. So if they've switched over, it might be Givenchy because mica is pearl.
Maybe
because that means that I used the blush Huda Beauty in the shade Sunset Lychee. So set where you want to set, and then we're going to just boost with the powder blush. So I would set over all that powder over that cream blush as well.
With the Saie?
With your setting powder, but we're going to go with the Saie. What shade have you got?
It's
Mia?
Chow. No, it's Mia.
Cute.
It's Mia. It's Mia.
Oh, Mia's great.
Same
brush that you use for your powder because the powder is primed into the brush.
Okay. So
that's the powder brush. Although I wonder if
Set
it's a
it
bit
ever so
small.
slightly.
So then just take a tiny, tiny bit because it's very concentrated.
Jesus. We're back.
Did it fall?
Silica then mica usually my target. That makes sense. She stared it away from me.
So then just do a very slight, I mean, how much did you pick up? Just tap. Great. Nice.
So pretty.
Isn't it nice?
Katie, I'm starting to look like a bride. It's actually,
You actually have looked like a bride for a while. This is just like refining technique and things. Now, I want to just do something crazy. I want you to take your ring finger or pinky finger or middle finger, whatever.
Yeah.
And we're going to go there on the lip.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Let me do the other side ever so quickly. Set this. This is gorgeous. This is stunning. This is what I'm talking about.
We're both using Saie Super Suede blush in Mia.
Shelby. Oh my God. It's Shelby. Hi, Shelby. It's like 3 of my favorite people all existing at the same time. It's actually wild. Okay, so
I want you to take that blush here on you because you've got a nice little pop that keeps showing up, and I want you to enhance it with it. Yes, there. Yeah.
On the same side as well? On this side?
Yeah. Because when you smile and your cheek is that way, because it's kind of like a highlighty blush. Tarek's about to watch the footy. I'm about to Uber or bike into the city for a
you need to go.
Yeah, I've got about 6 or 7 minutes left. What do you think of that as a lip topper?
Yeah, I'm loving that. Because James, my fiance, he hates gloss. He will not and I want something that's glossy.
Come closer to the screen. So then take more and just really buff it in so that you see if you can get that shimmer to come through. Pretty.
Oh yeah, she's not going anywhere.
There it is. And it will feel a little weird. No, don't use gloss. He wants no gloss.
Yeah, he hates gloss.
The shade is Mia.
And I feel like the vibe is on my wedding day, I do actually want to kiss my husband. So
pretty important. Let's take a bright version of a concealer. So maybe just grab this and some sort of small brush. Yeah, one of those then.
I'm having like a brain aneurysm.
Whichever one is brighter for you.
I'm gonna say it's this one neutral because she's pretty bright.
And then get it into a brush that looks somewhat like this, if you can, if you've got something.
I've got this one. She's
perfect.
Okay, she's in.
This is our final refiner before you do mascara. Same here.
Holy shit, that looks so snatched.
And then you can even do this too. It's harder on the top though. It's harder on the top to keep the line because it's just a weird angle.
I struggle with doing this because I also find that I don't know how low.
I mean, that looks perfect. It looks beautiful. The top lip should always be a little fuller than the bottom lip, basically, is the rule of thumb. And then with what's in this brush, you can, if you want like any more refinements around the eyes, it's a perfect size for things like that.
Okay. I'm going to go up here just because I've got like this little blue vein that always pops out.
Right.
I'm loving it. It's looking
good.
It's looking good.
I do think that there's like room for the lip to feel a little bit more contrast, but not much.
Yep.
Okay. That can also be achieved though with the little hack that I just showed you. Like you can make that lip contrast more by popping the concealer more and making sure that it's really well blended in. Like at the end of the day, like if you've got the right amount of concealer on this brush, you know what I'm saying? Like that will also give you that contrast.
I feel like I've seen you sometimes like tap into.
Yeah, but ideally you want to make sure that it's not too much because then if it's too much, it bleed into the lip color.
Who was it that I saw? Oh, Painted by Spencer. Adore him. He has a really good hack for using powder foundation underneath here for a liquid lipstick. That was really transformative for me.
Well, you can go in with your any of your powders that, like it can even be a powder from an eyeshadow palette. Like you could take this powder, it's very bright, but you could take this creamy white powder from Mario. You can just start putting a little bit of that there.
Ooh, let me try that.
Pop that out a little bit as well.
I'm going to take something a bit more smaller, flatter and denser just to give me a bit more control because I feel like I might actually go crazy with this.
Do you generally, if there's not much in the brush, you can't fuck it up. Like, if there's not very much in the brush, it's not going to do that much damage. So always start with less that's in the brush and always prime the brush. I'm just neutralizing my blush a little bit because I look a bit nuts. Do you curl your lashes or do you not curl the lashes?
I do. I curl them. I used to use my Kevin Aucoin,
yeah.
And I didn't realise that I'd actually gone through the cushion. Couldn't get them for a long time. Switched over to Shoe Mirror, and I find that this pulls out my lashes.
The shoe?
Yeah.
Huh.
And I'm not pressing that hard because I've got a genuine fear of ripping out all of my eyelashes. But I also have very stubborn eyelashes that don't like to hold a curl.
Would you do a lash lift?
I can't. So lash lifts have acrylates and PPD in them, and I can't have either.
Okay. So then, are you gonna do waterproof mascara on the day?
Yeah. I've been doing Clinique, switched over to
I love Lancome
because it is hypoallergenic, safe for contact lens wearers, and acrylate and paraben free, and the hold is actually insane.
Yeah, it's a great mascara. Also, if you're using waterproof has a longer hold than non-waterproof, so that's great.
I find that it's the formula as well. Like, it feels almost more dry, and I really like the mascara.
Cute.
I also usually tightline. Do I need to do that?
I say live with it for a few hours and just catch yourself in a mirror here and there. I'm walking around the house this afternoon, or this evening because it's nighttime almost, and then see how you feel, because you can always add it, right? Maybe you add tightline for the evening thing so that you've got a little bit of a different variation on your makeup.
Yeah. I mean, evening, we're going bowling.
I love it.
Because we both said if we're going to get married, everyone always says, oh, you've only got one day, this is the only one day, blah, 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 blah. We were like, nah, screw that. We want to do something where we could actually relive our day every single year on our anniversary. So,
that's bowling. So cute, actually. That's so nice.
Yeah, it's cute. Yeah, it's cute.
I love it. That's great. Amazing. Yeah, it's like, also when you're putting on mascara, you're tightlining by default, like it's happening because of how close the mascara wand is to your eye.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it's also just a lighter, softer kind of look. So I'd always err on the side of soft because of just feeling like not ever wanting to feel like it's too much for a bridal moment. But then again, I mean, this is coming from a makeup artist that doesn't do brides. So, you do you, babes.
I mean, I feel like I'm in a situation now where I've been looking so much at inspiration, and every time I do, it's like really, really soft makeup. And then I try and do it on myself, and I don't find that it works for me. Partly because I think I am quite high contrast, and I'm looking at gorgeous blondes and like beautiful blue eyes, and it just doesn't ever seem to really work as well. But
have you tried tightlining with just like a brown, like a Costa Riche from Matte?
I only do brown. Everyone thinks I do black, but no, I do browns. Quick question: bottom lash line mascara, yay or nay?
I mean, I like it.
Okay, great. If you like it, I'm doing it.
You've got big eyes, so like lean in,
I find as well that it hides some of my creasing where my concealer.
Yeah.
And I like that.
And it also looks more finished. Like, it doesn't look finished if it's not done, I think.
Yeah, agree. Especially, I think, for brown eyes, it kind of frames, and it gives a little bit of like
I agree.
Picture frame to the
eye. Looks great. Looks gorgeous. How do you feel? What was like your aha?
I feel bridal. I think this is the first time I've ever looked at my makeup and gone, I feel like it's giving bridal. The thing for me has been that when things are going on a bit too heavy, to go to the other side.
Yeah.
And not to just keep like
not to panic.
Yeah, and going light. This is the lightest I think I've ever done my makeup, and it still looks nice. The thing I haven't done actually is my brows, but this stuff.
The brows also look really nice like this. Like, are you normally putting makeup in your brows other than brow gel?
I literally, yeah.
That's all you're using in your brows is that product?
Right now?
No, but like usually when you're doing this, are you putting in more than just this? Are you putting in pencils or powders?
I'll do a little bit of this thing on the tail, and sometimes I'll bring it in just to clear up some of the patchiness. But honestly, this by itself is, and like my brows
Yeah,
don't
I don't even
stay.
feel like you need anything. Your brows are so
You
nice.
think? Thank you.
And there's something nice about leaving them, because if every single element of the face feels too groomed, then it feels all very try hard. I think it's nice to let something feel a little bit less done.
Yeah.
That's kind of like, I think, what 2016 makeup was all about. Everything was too done. Do you know what I'm saying?
And that's kind of like Anne's look at the fashion show. Like Anne looked done to the nines.
Yeah, it was like
nine.
everything was done. Yeah,
Everything was done. But yeah, I'm really liking this.
good. This was fun.
This was so much fun. Thank you.
Sorry I have to dip and dash. I hope everybody watching had a nice time. How to stop mascara bleeding. Make sure that you don't use too much eye cream under the eye, and make sure that you're using powder to set the under eyes, because yeah, that's why mascara bleeds. I'm going to have a roast dinner now at this restaurant in New York called Jean's. And you can't get a roast dinner in America very easily at all. Like the only time you get a roast in America is like Thanksgiving, right? Because that's the season for that kind of food. And so it's a restaurant that my friends own, and they're hosting this roast dinner with Barber, the Coke company or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's so cool because like I've literally there's one or two places you can get a roast dinner in New York, and none of them are very good. So I'm kind of really hoping and praying for.
Are they British? Are they from?
Jeans is not British. The chef is Canadian, so we'll see what happens.
Okay. Well,
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks for doing this, and I hope that you learned something.
I learned so much. I honestly, I cannot thank you enough. You're
Of course, I'm here if you ever have any other questions. Hopefully, we can figure out how to save this live, because
if anyone knows how to do that,
I don't know how to do it.
Let me know.
Bye, everyone. Bye, honey. Take care.